The Rolling Stones guitar solo John Lennon hated. The music industry has always enjoyed rewriting history when it comes to the Beatles and the Rolling Stones. Although both bands were part of the British invasion, it was only natural for the press to pit them against one another, with the Stones being dubbed the nastier version of what the Beatles desired to be. While the bands were usually friendly with one another, Keith Richards recalls John Lennon being blunt about what he thought of their music. However, the Stones would not be where they are today if it weren't for the Beatles. Throughout their musical education in London clubs, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards were content to play other people's tunes until they witnessed John Lennon and Paul McCartney finish the song I Wanna Be Your Man right in front of them. Immediately inspired, Jagger and Richards rapidly became a songwriting tour de force, providing the nastiest rock and roll the 1960s had to offer, such as Satisfaction. Although the girls were drawn to Jagger and Richards' big hooks in their personas, Lennon was not thrilled by one of Richards' guitar breaks on one of their early songs. Outside of the blues-infused classics that the Stones were known for, their early ballad attempts were hit or miss by the standards of the Fab Four. Although Lennon would like the foundation of the Stones songs, Richards recalls becoming enraged when he heard the song It's All Over Now. Richards recalls how cutthroat Lennon was about his solo break in his book Life, noting, "John could be quite direct." That wasn't the last time Lennon dragged the band through the muck. When discussing the huge similarities between the two bands' stylistic changes, Lennon expressed frustration with how effectively the band seemed to replicate the group, noting that the only thing they were interested in was listening to the Beatles and then replicating them with their own unique twist. When the Beatles died, the Stones rapidly took over as rock's longest-lasting band, featuring a string of albums like Beggar's Banquet that showed them reconnecting with their bluesy roots. Despite his scathing tongue, Richards realized that Lennon still cared deeply about what the band did. Throughout his memoir, Richards expressed a subliminal affinity with Lennon, noting, "He was so open. This may be awkward for anyone else, but it was John's honesty in his eyes that drew you in."